Good evening, this is your Mayor, Col Murray, with another lengthy report from a very lengthy meeting. The very first item on the agenda this evening was the recommendation to approve a feedlot, which after around an hour's debate, which is not unusual for these very complex development applications, the final decision, after a bit of toing and froing and an amendment put forward and a motion was put to decline or to not approve the feedlot, and that motion was supported. It was a vote as determined in development applications in New South Wales. It was by a show of hands. The final vote was 6 votes for and 3 against. And that now, I guess, will certainly satisfy the quite a number of residents that were in the room. There's been a lot of lobbying on this development application for many months, and some quite distraught community members. And I think they will take some comfort from the decision tonight. However, I fear it's maybe not the end of the discussion. Quite often we find these development applications may be appealed in the Land and Environment Court, and that's quite a different environment to a local government council approval. So it's a matter of wait and see. Hopefully it's not appealed, and the community out there can be satisfied that they've got the right option from council, and hopefully they can rest and not be too concerned about their concerns about the implications of that 999 head cattle feedlot. On a brighter note, we had a couple of reports this evening which were dealing with I guess the future of our CBD, and we had much comment about the strength of the CBD and those visionary decisions back in the 1990s by the Tamworth City Council of the day that supported the investment and the design to do the Peel Street beautification that I think all Tamworthians love and cherish today. Quite often I hear visitors say this is one of the most attractive CBDs in the country, and we're all very proud of the extent that we have. But tonight we dealt with a recommendation from the City Centre Working Group to consider the planning of the extension of that CBD beautification, and it was envisaged in that report that this project could take maybe 20 years. It'll be very expensive, but quite a game changer for the CBD. And also there was another report that talked about a change in our DCP for the CBD. There's a lot of acronyms in this discussion, but that was a report to introduce a planning proposal to the planning department to have an excellence by design clause over any new development applications for buildings and extensions, etc. So in essence, that was a report that described the desire of the council to not build just plain boxes in our buildings in our CBD, and to incorporate some attractive and architectural type design into the buildings of the future. And a classic example of one of the things that we chose not to have allowable into the future was things like the large shopping centre at the southern end of the CBD, which from the Peel Street frontage is just a very bland, large concrete box. And council considered that was not the way we want to move forward with our CBD, and the excellence by design clause will eliminate the opportunity for that to happen into the future. So we were very, I think as a council, very pleased to see those two important reports to embellish and vitalise our CBD for many years into the future. So that brings my report this evening to a close. I'd like to thank you for taking the time for listening. Thank you for your interest, and good evening.